Hello there, this is Rom coming back at you with yet another car video. Life game. Don't have excuses going through life. Don't have excuses going through life. You just have to go through it. I was thinking about something the other day, right? I forgot what it was for, but I had to write my signature on something. I forgot what it was for. And wherever it was, they were like, man, you got a pretty signature. And I was like, And it was funny because I've been very open about the stroke I had at the end of 2023. And the thing was, when I had that stroke, I couldn't really write. In fact, my right hand still can be a bit shaky. I'm still not 100% back. Not 100%. Maybe 95%. Whatever the case. But I was thinking about that. I was just like, I didn't think it was a big deal at first. I was like, just a writer. But I was thinking about that. I was in a position where I couldn't even write my name straight. That was part of my occupational therapy. But I didn't have any excuses. Yeah, I went through it, but I knew it was something I wanted to do. Simple as write my name right. And if you look at what I had to go through overall, because remember when I said I had my stroke, I couldn't eat. I couldn't walk. Yet I was doing that again. In fact, I saw something about some football player who went through a lot. He got to learn all of it again. Anybody can. I didn't have any excuse, and I could have said, well, nah, I'll just get it through my throat, or through the G tube with the food and everything, or just not walk, get a good wheelchair, get a walker. But I said no. In fact, I'm just coming out the gym, and I usually get on the treadmill or something of that nature, do some cardio. I'm actually doing more cardio now. It's interesting. Didn't used to just do it, lift the straight weights. And I didn't work out last week. And like I always say, I got a lot to do. And one of the things I do when I start working out again, I always start from zero. I never start where I was. And that's normal. That was even before the stroke. But my point is, I'm just going to do my thing. No excuses. One of the problems I have with many men out here, too many excuses. Now, I'm a 60-year-old man. Went through a stroke. First of all, I lived longer than a lot of... there's many men out there, even in this space, who didn't live to 60. There's many men out there who don't want to exercise, let their weight get all out of control. But I said, no, I'm still doing it. Now, of course, there's some Bammers out there, and I do mean Bammers, who don't think that because they don't see the whole picture. Well, people see me in the gym. I've met quite a few people in the gym. They see what I'm doing. Now, I ain't doing it like I used to, but getting back to it. Getting back close enough. Really, I would say 5 to 10 pounds off of what I used to do anyway. But I didn't have any excuses. I knew what I wanted to do, and I just went and did it. Yeah, she got some fat legs. Anyway, I like fat legs. See, that's something else, too. I still be looking. I don't have any excuses. My joints still work. In fact, there's a young lady. I keep calling her young. She's in her 50s, but she be in the gym sometime. I know her given name, but my name for her is it's Loud. Not Lord, Loud. Lawd. Yes, Lord. Good Lord. Good Lord, too. Either yes, Lord, or good Lord. I'd be like, hey, how you doing? Still friendly. Still friendly. But no excuses. I'm not using anything. Say, oh, I'm too old, or I'm this, I'm that, or I went through a stroke. All right, I told her I went through a stroke. I'll meet some young ladies, I'll tell them I went through a stroke. I'm going to do my thing regardless. Now, what does that have to do with you? If a 60-year-old man who's been through a medical emergency such as a stroke can keep going and doing his thing, doing simple things such as writing his name correctly, doing simple things as walking when he couldn't walk it for a bit, or eating stuff through my throat. Now, I couldn't get any. I couldn't even get liquids down my throat at one point. If I can do that, no one has an excuse. One of the things I see out here is too many men have excuses why they can't do anything. Let me use that height thing, because that's always prominent. Because ever since people started talking about it, I pay attention. Wherever I go, and I've said, I've been very public, I'm technically not 6 feet. Now, I can look 6 feet in some shoes or something, but I already told y'all. 5'10" and a half to 5'11", depends on the time of day. And I'll be taller than most of the guys that I come across. Most of them, not all of them, of course. But it was like, did I use that as an excuse? Do I say, oh, I'm only under 6 feet. I can't get a lady. I can't talk to anybody. No. But you get some guys out here that use it, say I'm only this or that. No, that's your self-esteem. Because as I always say, is you get some guys who might be short stature who complaining. You get some, they be getting some women. Multiple women. And even when I talk about body game, because you get some guys out here thinking body game is about being lean. I've never said that. I've never said brolic. I said your best body. I said different women are turned on by different bodies. But even then, even with that, you get some guys, they don't want to fix up. They don't want to do anything. Or you get some guys complaining about the ladies out here. Saying, oh, these ladies don't want this, they don't want that. Well, first of all, if there's 4 billion women out here, they always going to want something. They always going to want something. You just have to find your tribe. Be your best and find the women who down for it. Like the height thing. Yeah, there's some women tripping over height, but there's women, they'll trip over your hairstyle. They'll trip over your skin complexion. They'll trip over your race. They'll do whatever. That's no excuse. You just be the best you can out here. And if you just focus just on your tribe, oh, you'll have whatever you want out here. You will have whatever you want. Whatever you want as far as ladies and stuff. And even beyond that, because I've said before, women are the main program, well, the commercial to your main program. Let me get that correct. The commercial too. Because if you're a man, you need to be working on being sovereign out here. And I don't mean like one of those like sovereign citizens thinking they don't have to obey laws. I mean having some control over your life. Being able to live where you want. Drive around, not being dependent on other people. Having control over what you can control and leverage when you can't control it. And there's no excuse for it because anybody can learn something. Anybody, even if you don't go to a regular college or something like that, you got a library card, you can get a library card anywhere. I always talk about this one dude I knew. He had a business, he had to do a different style of tax. He couldn't do like the regular tax on it. He just went to the library, got a book on it, and was able to take care of business. That's all he could. If your ass can read, you can take care of it. In fact, I would say even education-wise, and this might be something for a bigger video, even education-wise, If you learn how to read with comprehension and basic math, that's the biggest things you need to learn in school. And if you got those two, you can count your money. You can count your money, and then you can read for understanding. You can read for comprehension. Shoot, there's no excuses on why you can't do whatever in life. Because as a man, you have control over that. As a man, you have control. Whatever, only thing you don't have control over is your basic genetics. And even that you have some control. You can see, because most people out here are not their optimal thing. You got a lot of people out here, they might have extra weight on them or something. That's not what they were born as. That is not what they were born as. So even there, you can do something to change. You can control it. And in fact, I did a sit-down video because this morning, but remember, I always do stuff a week ahead, and I'll be talking about that, your presentation. You got control over it. And there's no excuses. There's no excuses. There's nothing stopping you. And no matter what's happened. Because I had mentioned a few times about this wheelchair athlete I knew. And that dude was a player. He was a wheelchair athlete. He didn't have legs. He couldn't really walk. And he still did his thing. He still did his thing with the women. Shoot, I remember another guy in that same office. He was a deaf mute. He was probably the best attorney in there. I remember that. He didn't have any excuses. Because, it's interesting. You got people out here, they neurotypical. They weren't born in a poor environment, but they're complaining. I'm like, what the fuck? I mean, I can see it if you're not neurotypical. I can see it if you were born in a very impoverished environment. But you get people who were born in those environments and they end up doing well because they got the right mindset. They ain't have any excuses. They did what they had to do extra. Because coming up, shoot, I told you I lived in Southeast DC. Anybody who doubt that, look that up. Southeast DC. Look up Anacostia. Indeed, lived near a mental institution. Lived near one. We'll see some people coming from there on day trips. But there's no excuses. Whatever you want to do in life, whatever you're trying to do, you can do it. I mean, you don't have to spend all day online. You don't have to spend all day watching TV. You can get your body right. Because remember, I always talk about body game. There's no excuse there. And if you ain't making the money you want to make, what are you doing to make that money? What are you doing? Or whatever mission you decide. What's stopping you from being on that mission? What's stopping you from learning from it? What is stopping you from living the life you want to live? Nothing. I don't care. Not even the days. They can't stop you anyway. Because I say that even as a black man. Y'all knows I ain't never talk about some white men stopping me from anything. I say they had to genetically engineer a white man to stop me from doing anything I want to do. And I'm not particularly conservative either to say that. I just know as a man, I'm doing the stuff I want to do. Shoot, getting back to when I had my stroke, the therapists and the doctors, they said, oh, okay, you'll be okay from this. Because they could see how I was going. I wasn't letting anything stop me. I remember in the therapy center, I didn't even have a walker. All I had was a wheelchair. I was still going through it, just using my calves moving around. I wasn't even using my arms. I was using my calves to walk around, to get around in a wheelchair. No excuses. That's why even on this channel, because a lot of people are commenting and say, well, I'm this or that, and I'm like, delete. Because I'm gonna be real, I don't have patience for that. I don't have patience. I don't like hearing excuses. I don't like hearing excuses, and I'm not obligated to listen to anybody's excuses. I'm not obligated to. I don't want to. Because you got too many people out here who succeed. Because my main thing is success. Indeed, I've had a lot of people tell me quite a few people tell me they like my Deep Thought channel better. But I'm talking about more thinking, more mindset. Indeed, I had somebody they got mad because I did a video on mindset. Trying to say, I'm trying to talk. Actually had the nerve to say they wanted to talk me out of removing it. Yeah, I blocked that dude too. They ain't even hit me up on that channel. They hit me up someplace else. I'm like, please. I even told them too. I said, look, I'm gonna give you long enough to read this and then I'm blocking you. Because there's no excuses. There's no excuses out here. Yeah, you going through some stuff. Yeah, they got this or that. But one of the problems I have is too many men do make excuses. Too many men complain. They say, oh, I'm short, or I was born here. I was like, whatever. What the fuck ever. Get over that bullshit. Get over that bullshit. No, I ain't come at the right time to see that fat-legged lady. Rom loves some fat legs. P-H-A-T, pretty hot and tempting. For those who don't know the slang. But anyway, there's no excuses. No excuses. Oh, and one day I'll probably say something to the lady. No excuses. And as a man, you can't get excuses. Or if you see that fine woman, let's get back to the woman thing since so many guys have it. What's stopping you from saying hi to some woman that you find physically attractive? You out and about, you see her, she in front of you. Shit. That's why I tell men, at the very least, learn how to say hi to 3 women a day. Just random women. That way when you run into a woman who you feel like you actually want to talk to, you can actually say something. You can actually talk. You ain't nervous. Because damn, women don't bite unless you want them to. And I always say that, but seriously, they don't. What they gonna say? 99% of the time when you say hi to a woman, even if she got a man, she'll be polite about it. You just be polite back with her. So there's no excuses. Because you be seeing some guys out here worried about rejection and shit. No excuses. You want shit. Them women get your dick hard. Shit, at least give it a shot. Don't be thinking about that years later thinking, damn, I wish I had talked to her. I wish I had talked to her. You don't want that. You don't want that. No excuses. No excuses. And that's just going through life. That's why I call it life game. Even though I threw some, man gets woman game in there. Just life game. You got to figure out what you're going to do. How you going to do it. Because just the other day, I was looking at my money. I was like, I gotta make a little bit more money. I had to pay taxes. That's one thing you gotta do in business. That's for my business channel. I ain't losing any sleep. In fact, I took a nap. I said, damn, I gotta make more money. I was knocked out chilling. So I just said, oh, okay, I just do this. Picked up a couple things. So I'll be doing another on-demand video, and then I got to get Rom TV started. I'll let y'all know when I got that started again. Might have it started tomorrow. I don't know. It'll be easy to do what I got to do. Or let Dog start it. The people who follow Rom TV know who Dog is. Yeah. But you figure it out. You figure out what you have to do. you go ahead and do what you gotta do. Even with everything happening in society now, even there's a lot happening. Like I said, my expertise is actually more in politics than anything else. Oh, I could probably hit 1 million subs if I hit some political stuff. But, yeah, just don't be wanted. Just don't want it. And I see a certain truck up here. It's ironic. I was thinking about politics. But I'm gonna tell you what. Even then, no matter what's going on, what you gonna do about it? What can you do about it? Or if you're one of these people, you lose your job, you get laid off your job. Well, what do you have? What else do you have? I got fired from a job and still made some money. Let me say that again. I got fired one time from a job and still made some money. Because I ain't have any excuses. I ain't cry. It was some bullshit, but I was just like, I don't need to work for y'all. Particular business went out in a few months anyway. That's another story. I'm just looking at this truck up here. Let's just say there's a certain electric truck that's ugly as fuck. It's ugly as fuck. I don't give a fuck. It's ugly as fuck. I'll let y'all think about which one. But anyway, you're a man out here. You gotta do your thing. You know, don't be worrying about the next man. Worry about what you got. What you got going on. What you doing for your life. What you doing. What mission are you on? Because if you on mission, you got purpose, you do all that, then when you deal with a woman, she need to fall into that. She need to fall into whatever. She need to be in submission to your mission. And when I say that, I don't mean you just like bossing her around or something. She need to be a woman who's going to be supporting your mission, whatever you doing. And really, whatever she doing, y'all need to be supporting each other. But she definitely, if you're going to be technical about it, she definitely need to be supporting what you trying to do. Otherwise, she's a waste of energy. She's a waste of energy. And she need to be in cooperation with you no matter what you doing. Because you got too many guys out here fighting a woman. And there's no excuses for staying with a woman. Let me hit that real quick. There's no excuses for staying with a woman who isn't doing anything with her life. Ain't no excuses. You got 4 billion women in this world. I don't care. You could look at it and say, oh, Lord. There's still no excuse to deal with it if she ain't in cooperation with your operation. No excuses out here. You want to do the best you can and get done what you want to get done, all right? So, anyway, gotta go in this store, get my food, and I'll get back with y'all. I want y'all really think about that life game, all right? And I'll talk to y'all. Peace.